Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Wow. I wonder if you can hear me now and how the volume is on my microphone. It looks like it's pretty good. I'm going to check it. It's very high. I adjusted it. I hope you can hear me. I want to show you a couple things. This fine, beautiful day, Valentine's. It's Sunday. It's almost noon, February 14th. Where should I start? Well, let's start at the Ancient Insights page. That's me. Hello. I need to start turning off my private stuff. Like, for example, quit line so no things pop up. Here we are. This is exactly where I want to be. Let me show you this in a second. I'll put that over here. I should have prepared better. I didn't even play the music, did I? Some people complained about that music. I like it. This is just some stuff I'm doing. I could probably close all that. Let's see here. Yep, some stuff I was looking at. Okay, there's the Ancient Insight page, and that's the thumbnail right there. Let me move that right over here, and then we'll use that as a jumping off point. Jumping off point. Can I just put these two together, keep it simple? And this other stuff, oh wait, I need this too, don't I? The live stream. In fact, I need to check and see if I have any sound and anything else. Right there. Let me move that. That sounds pretty loud. I hope that's good. All right. So let me minimize that and maximize this and get started with what I want to show you. What I basically found was this thing, and so we can get there. Actually, that's different. So let me go here. To get there yourself, facebook.com/ancientinsight or search at Ancient Insight Facebook, and it's a page. And I have this one link I found, and I found it yesterday, and I was just looking at these farms, and I started thinking about the people. Wait a minute, why? Okay, this needs, okay, there they are. They're up the top. So I found these people, and I just want to show you who's living there now. Subsistent farmers. They're very happy to see somebody driving through, like Google, doing a street view. Very subsistent. You can see right there the houses that they're living in, their grass huts. They've got animals, probably providing milk, probably providing the occasional meat, maybe not. I don't know. This is grazing land. If you check org in their country fact books, not a lot of farming is done. Apparently, it's only 13% of their total economy, including the okay, there's 2 million people in the country. And so I found this lady. She's looking very cute, smiling, waving. She's wearing a red outfit going all the way down, covering her feet. She looks like she's got some type of a head, her hat. It looks like maybe that's hair inside there. I'm not sure. Okay, now you were probably saying, why am I invading on these people's lives and exploiting them? I'm not doing that. I want to show you this here. This, it looks behind them, is actually why I zoomed in on this area. And look at that. It looks like a wall, maybe. You think that's not a wall, but watch this. Let's go here. Let's go back to the... We'll go to the link and open it up. And when we do... The reason why I zoomed into that whole neighborhood was because I wanted to see what this was. This is very strange, honestly, and maybe I should use Satellite Pro in a second. And that doesn't look very big, but if you measure it, it's actually quite big. It's bigger than the bridge over there, right? That's the 72 meters diagonally. You can see the wall. Now you might say, well, what are you even looking at? Okay, well, let's go up the mountain. There's a couple of other ones here. And I mean, I assumed they were to hold water, but now that I'm looking at them and seeing how big they are. So this is my new thing here is I want to see how big these walls are. That's 32 meters. Sorry, 32 meters. So let me show you a different way to looking at it. Let's go back to the original. See, you've got this bridge that's going across the Motiti River. You can actually zoom in right here and see it yourself. That's an old bridge and a new bridge, right? So I'm looking at the old bridge. And so these structures are actually bigger than the old bridge. I mean, usually that's the way it works. You'll see the old bridge next to a new bridge. I can find that in Taiwan here. If I click right here and go into it, maybe we'll see it. I don't know. Oh, there it is down there. So this bridge is pretty high up, and down there is the other bridge, the older bridge. You can see the stones. It still exists. It's not as good as this bridge. You can see the nice sign. I kind of, oh look, there's a truck. Dirt roads, subsistent farming. Here's that lady. She's standing by the river, probably curious about this Google truck. Probably doesn't have a computer. She probably has a smartphone. Nowadays, everybody has smartphones, right? But and that's called technology leapfrogging. That looks like a power line. So there's some type of power going through. However, I don't really know if you're going to get... I'm just looking at the whole surrounding neighborhood for her, what she sees every day. That's nice, right? That's big. There's a lot of farming going on. I saw some crops. There's the old bridge. And yes, we are at, this says 3,009 meters. That sign says 2,995 meters. I wonder why they put the altitude and they don't say altitude. Motete River. It's in English. And the name of this street is Oxbow Mafolaneng Road. Oxbow. Okay, so back to what I was trying to figure out was these on the building. And I don't know how far this is. Okay, let's check the distance from the road. Just for perspective, that's 50 meters. It's half of a football field, basically. Let's go yards. It's 53 yards. That's 106. That's double. So it's a half of a football field away. Let's get out of here. Let's go back into the line and look at it and see what it looks like from there. And this is just one of many. I'm just choosing this one because we're here already. And you see basically this structure here. I don't see anything else. I don't see any trees. I don't understand why it's so green. We can zoom in. You can see the house. There's a house there, but right above it is this giant, what's I believe at this time, oh wait, maybe that's it right there. Okay, so there it is. That must be it right there. Alright, maybe I'm not so big. I don't know what I was looking at. It's kind of hard to see. Well, that's not as exciting. I thought we were looking at some type of megalithic wall or something, but there it is right there. So I finally found it. And I was wondering where that was, and you can see the wall goes all the way over here. So that's not so impressive. Maybe it's a false alarm. However, I do believe it's quite large. I don't know why they've got such a big thing, but I guess I can see now. So that right there is the big, huge wall, and that's obviously the mountain. So kind of a false alarm. But I do think it's a pretty cool look. Now, one more thing I'll look at before I go. So we see these things up in the mountains. I don't know what they're holding. So this is the same thing now. We're looking at the same thing. Okay, I'll close one. The other thing that I wanted to show you that I thought was quite interesting was the thumbnail of this video. Where is that? Down here? There it is right there. Let's just open it up in a new Google Earth. I'm pretty quick because my computer is not the slowest and my connection is definitely fast. Now this is 55 yards across, and I don't know what that's made out of. I mean, I don't think it's a natural structure because that kind of shows the formation of a room in a corner and a separation. Now, one thing I don't know what's going on is, first of all, how it was built. Is it built out of clay? I mean, I see these weird rocks like this, and you may have seen my nub video. What's a nub? Good question. Somebody asked that question. What's a nub? Well, I can't get in there any closer than this, but I'm very curious what that building material is. It looks like clay or some type of cement. And the word eschar came up from another video. I can see who wrote that. Let's see. Who's here? Oh, Georgia Red Mud. I think it was you, bro. I think you're the one who came up with the word eschar. Was that you? I have to check my previous messages. Let me just go. How do I go? How do I go? That's not it. Let me comments. Comments. I want to go to comments. Let's go here. I think that was you, actually. Was it you talking about? No, maybe not. Let me just double check, and then I'll know for sure, rather than sit here and guess. Yeah, there was your comments. Yeah, ice glaciers. The north, was that you or is that somebody else? There's one more comment. Yeah, my mic was way too low. How is it this video? Okay, this is not the one. Somebody else gave me. Okay, I have to click. I haven't responded because I talked to that person. So sorry I didn't respond to yours. Okay, so yeah, here it is. Gogol says roadways were built on top of eskers. Now, if that's true, that might be an explanation in the modern day world about why we have these weird things. But I am also wondering if these eskers are really not intelligently laid out. 20 miles long. See, the eskers up there are very curvy, not straight. Here, I'm looking at straight ones. But yeah, I'd like to know more about that. Maybe that's an explanation for this whole campaign I've been on. I'm always looking for Occam's razor. I know I had someone say I'm talking the opposite of it. No, I'm saying why is it the opposite of it? I'm asking why. This right here looks like the same material as, let me go back to the video. The same material as some of these roads. I just got lucky and found that in the middle of nowhere. I was just going along there. There was something else happening. I can go to 3D. Maybe that'll answer what it was. So what I've been finding is a lot of modern day water structures to what appear to hold water. Maybe just hold mud. Maybe they're holding pigs. I think these are Islamic folk, and therefore they're not eating pigs. So I don't know, maybe it's another animal or maybe it's just water. I also think that the terraforming that they're doing is quite interesting, but I'm pretty convinced that's also modern day. It's just that sometimes the structure, the scarring looks so weird, and that's another thing. I found this picture and I just thought to myself, isn't it a little bit too scarred up? There's a link here so you can check that out for yourself. I'm not going to go there. This one, I want to go there, and I think it's very close to the one that I just showed you, that structure, because it shows something's up here. And as you can see, you have the terraforming. That's subsistence farming, supposedly. Yet you've got this road. Now, I call it a road right now because it doesn't really go very far. It just seems to be pretty short. So I don't think that... The thing is, it's quite wide as well. Let's measure it real quick. I think that's not too bad. It's only 17.68 meters. That's 19 yards. So it's like a 20-yard wide road. 20-yard wide road. I mean, is that a road 20 yards? That's a fifth of a football field wide. Okay. But it does look like the whole spinal mountain thing that I was talking about. It's a little bit random. It's a little bit... Here, let me get rid of that. It's a little bit short. I mean, I guess you can keep following it into the mountain and maybe find a line maybe there. I'm not really... I'm already resigned that it's pretty short. But here's the thing: it is this like modern day because it looks like it's going over the lines in the farm. That looks like it's covering these lines. So does that mean that? Okay, so I always talk about events. Which event came first? Let's talk about this one right here. This is in Morocco, and you have the link. You can go visit it yourself. But you've got these so-called tumuli, which are quite ancient, quite old. And you can see an event destroyed one of them. And next to that event is another event. That's an alluvial fan coming through. And an alluvial fan, you can measure the content coming through. And some of these alluvial fans are like 10,000 years old. So, or a couple thousand years old. So the question is when did it rain in that area? It's right by the ocean. I think that it's probably, I'll go there again since I have the link. I prepared the link for everybody. I did tweak that photo a little bit in Photoshop, so it's not perfect. Let me go to the chats. No, it wasn't you. It was Gogol. Thank you for saying that, though. Yeah, I just wanted to have a quick morning thing. What's the time? It's only 16 minutes? Well, I don't think I'm going to go an hour today. I just wanted to show those, and I kind of debunked myself just now. So there's the Google Earth of that so-called tumulus, or since there's two of them, tumuli. But there's an escarpment. I've shown this many times. It's my favorite one. They're very big, right? They're very big. Let's measure one real quick just to see the tail from here to here. That's 3 football fields, okay? Let's go to yards. Done. Let's go to yards. 285 yards. So that's 3 football fields. Do you think someone's going to make that when somebody dies? Do you think they're going to make this big, huge thing and go straight out? And it's literally almost a wall. I mean, it might not be a very high wall, but it's literally a wall that they've built. And they're going along here, and they go over here. And it's so perfect. I mean, how can a human do that from... Okay, I forgot to show you where it was. Let me turn it north. And you can see this is... Did I not turn it north? What's going on here? Okay, so there's the Canary Islands, and you just zoom right in, and you can see this river, the Choi... What does it say? Can't read it, but it's right in here. I have the measurements still there, so it's easy for me to find. Without that, I would say you'd have to, when you go down this river, just make sure there's a link, so just click the link. I got lost already. Is that it? No, that's it. That's it. It's kind of hard to find. And right next to it is this big property, and they've got this big, huge wall of sand. I really don't understand. This is like sand walls they do in Morocco and Western Sahara, and I don't know what they're doing, but they've built some kind of a wall around this. It looks like you can walk right in, maybe right there, and it looks like they've got something in there, and over here something else. I mean, I don't know what that is. Beehives. This one, it can show the age of that wall, or maybe that's not really a breach from the river, but when I say river, I mean a water event, not a river. There's a nearby so-called river right next to it, but it's probably very small, so we call that a 100-year flood when it creates these escarpments, right? Or maybe a 1,000-year flood. And so that's what I'm talking about over here. Yeah, so more of this. How wide is that? How long is that? It's just curious. It's got to be like a kilometer. It's 1797 yards. That's in kilometers. That's 1.64 kilometers long. But somebody built that wall, and it's there, and I'm not sure how hard it is. I assume it was almost sand. But I mean, when's the last time it rained here? So as you're coming one more time, you can see this big, huge thing. and that's where I go out. It's right there. Right? No? I got lost again. I always get lost. Oh, there it is. So it's right up here. Right there. No? No. I always get lost myself. There it is. Right there. And of course, to get a realistic view of it, click in like this and turn it. And you can see these ancient structures, and you know they're old. You know they're old. And the reason why I know they're old is because this alluvial fan, take away that period of time. How long did that take to grow? You measure it, the content came through. Of course, water carried it off. I don't know how to measure it. I'm not a geologist. But that event right there, you have a couple of them. And every single event you see on this escarpment, I mean, sure, it's possible maybe this already existed and then this escarpment got pushed back and then it happened again to create the new alluvial fan on the new floodplain here. However, what I really want to look at, you can see the tail of this other previous tumula. And by the way, let's measure one more thing. Let's measure, because we can see it, the distance from the end of that to right about here where the arc starts. Maybe right about here, right? I mean, we can go to the end. This whole thing is 0.15 kilometers. Let's go to yards. And I always like, maybe we should always focus on yards. That's 162 yards. So that's 1.63 football fields. And I guess I can't adjust it. Let's try that one more time. Let's go here. Yeah, we already know that's 285. Oh, look, 303 yards. Okay, so 3 football fields exactly. But if we go from here to here, that's 100 yards, 105 yards. Now let's measure this one and see if we get something similar. That's the what appears to be the end. And there it is. This one's only 91 yards. So this one was a little smaller, I guess. That's all. I just wanted to see the difference in the tail length. And it's true the tail could be getting cut off here. You know, the funny thing about this is you would think that it wouldn't be possible for the other tail to come out. If you measure this over here, it seems like the tail's disappeared. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is some type of photographic artifact, but I just feel like it's a brother tumuli. I'm not really sure what to think about that. You see more of these all over Morocco, so you can go do your own research and find more. Go to Anthony Tunstall's websites because he documented a lot of them. Probably not all of them, because I found a few on my own, and then he said, oh, you found new ones. And I was like, oh, I thought they were the same. So I assumed that he had documented them, but he's got an eagle eye when it comes to stuff like this. So his Zero Control YouTube, he's doing new videos, very inspiring. So this escarpment is one event. This is a second event. So we have to go back to how long ago did you have floods in Morocco that would create this? When was the last time it rained so hard that you had this type of flooding? This is the Atlas Mountains. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Oops, I feel like I didn't get it. There he goes. Okay, so you're at the side of the Atlas Mountains. There's got to be some type of river activity. And if you look at my ancient maps, you can see a lot of rivers that come out of here. Okay, did we talk about everything? I just find this very interesting because this seems to match. I feel like this was... Okay, let's measure this and see how big it actually is and the length. And so it's about 0.6 kilometers. It's 600 yards. You know, why things come out so nice and even... I'm not really sure if... I mean, there's a lot of farm work, and I still question how old some of this stuff is. You know, this is a lot of work, and the people that did it, those people, I think that's quite a bit. I mean, if that's 0.6 kilometers, then this is, or 600 yards, then this is like a full mile across. It's a lot of farmland. And I do say... it's just miles and miles of work done. Even up here near the top, you can see what I originally thought was some type of a ancient terraforming, because it's so extensive here. But then you see the people, so okay, it's believable that these people are actually up there. You can see modern day structures, and you can see these buildings. This is kind of a little visit. I'm not really showing anything megalithic, except, this is my main question here. Which is older? And why would this be made? It's very long. And they don't seem to have tractors up there. There's only 2 million people. So what kind of a tractor could create this? Is it natural? Well, if it's natural, why does it overlap what appears to be the farming? And is this modern day farming, or is this actual terraforming of the land? Because I've been hearing a lot about terraforming and of like terracing, creating terraces, and we see that beautiful terracing in is it Peru, and of course where else did we see the megalithic ones, where they were obviously doing agriculture more than 11,000 years ago. And this is obviously modern day. This color, I guess that's fertilized land ready to be planted on. Is it? I don't know. That's why I went back to the structures with, I'm sorry, I'm not being clear. I wanted to use the street view and see what I could see on the street. Now this is are we even still in? There we go. So here's Lesotho. Lesotho. I think it's Lesotho, but I did listen to it before I said it the first time, and then somebody was saying maybe it's not pronounced that way, and I kind of am curious if what the people who live there call it. I believe them first, and I did listen to the British and the American pronunciation of this country, but I didn't listen to the Lesothian pronunciation of their own country. So I think that's the best way, right? Oh, but I have a friend from South Africa who was saying Lesotho. That's why I was so casual about it, because I always ask him questions. Look at that line. So we see a line like that, and we say, gee, is that a natural formation? And then you see some ancient looking lines in there. I mean, the farmland, that the green stuff is, I don't know, because when I looked at this picture, some other stuff, let's see if I can find, I got a bunch of new stuff in there, so check it out. When I saw this picture, I thought, gee, you would think that let's take a look at that one, because it's right on top of what looks like ready to be farmed land, but when you zoom in on it, it's like it's ancient terracing instead of really actual farming going on. And it looks like, when something like that grows right in the middle of it, that it hasn't been tended to in a long time. I mean, I don't know, are those trees, or is it looks probably just bushes. Here's another little outcrop of what looks like trees. And if you do Google Earth, not here, let's close that. Morocco, we're finished with Morocco. This one is where I'm looking at and my unofficial thesis is that this has been terraformed by Anunnaki gold miners. But I do also want to embrace reality and always try to think of the reason why something is, and that's where I say the Occam's razor. What's the most reasonable way something is? I'm not going to reach for aliens. Look at that. I mean, look at this. It's just, I don't know. That looks like it's covering the old. The what you would say is modern day. Why would it stop like that? Why would they stop there for farming? What is up with this? Why is it so hard? If this, okay, it's the chicken or the egg question again. If this farm area, and I call that farm area, stopped here. Why did it stop at this line? Is this mountain, which I say could be intelligently created, which came first? Why did they stop there instead of going up more? I mean, I've got a lot of questions. I, again, want to follow the roads and see if we can see these things where we can see them from the road. That's a mountain road. That's, wow, look at that house. How'd you like to live there? That looks nice. That's a big building. You don't really see many buildings that size. That one is just in the middle of nowhere, huh? And when you go to the tops of these mountains, you can see these so-called water reservoirs. Look at this one. Okay, so that to me is a harvest, right? That's a harvest, and somebody collected it, and I guess that's wheat or grass, because it looks like bunches of maybe not wheat, but some type of a harvest of a weedy type of plant. But it's just so bizarre. This is they're not getting tractors up here. They're doing this by hand, I think, or maybe by oxen. Because they do have a road called Oxbow. It's just so hard to see the difference. Now look at this structure here. Now, why was that built? Was it to hold water? Was it a house? Let's get out of 3D. Wait a minute. Let's get out of 2D. Why can't I measure it? Where's the measuring? That's bizarre. I don't have my measuring device here. Yeah, no street view. Oh, I got to turn off street view. Okay, turn off street view, and this reappears. So this thing is 30 yards across. I mean, maybe it's an old house or a yard for. Maybe they take their harvest and they put it in there for processing. I don't really believe these are Anunnaki gold mines. They're not the same shape. Here's another one. Look at this one. Here's some more. And when I first saw them, I thought they were more modern day than ancient. That one, though, that one's not very round. Or, sorry, rectangular. And you get to the very tops of the mountains, you can find some structures right at the very top. It's kind of curious what they were doing way up there. And I don't believe this is terraformed, but when you see these lines, you almost think that it was terraformed. I mean, who's farming up here? I mean, honestly, it looks like maybe they haven't even done it for a long time. I should actually probably change the name of this video to Ancient Terraforming or something. Alright, Greg Brown, hola. Oh, it's 12:21 p.m. It's Valentine's Day, noon. It's Sunday. No, I hear you about that, Georgia, and I saw your comments earlier about the equator. I mean, honestly, I'm trying to understand. So where it is now causes a bulge. Okay, yeah, we know that the Earth isn't, if you cut it from north, oh, how do I describe it? Oh, I guess I should just open up Google Earth so I can talk about it that way, right? I'm getting a little tired here. I got lost. Is that my... Doesn't matter. I can always reopen these things. So let's just zoom out so we have Google Earth. That's Lesotho. Lesotho. I should ask my friend how to say it again from South Africa. But then again, he's not from Lesotho. He's from South Africa. Actually, my friend was born in... I forgot the name. Which is now... Zimbabwe. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to get out of here. So you're saying the equator, which is right about here. It's kind of interesting because we see maps. The equator is usually... When I see a map, it's the northern area that they focus on. They never really realize how equal... We need to get out of the sunlight. Get the sun out of there. I want to see the whole thing. I mean, why would it do that? Okay, let's find... So this is our equator, but to be honest, I think that Egypt was the previous prime meridian of the land because it was the center point. I don't know why people say it's the center point, but that's what we hear. And I think that maybe the prime meridian was here. We've got some pyramids right here. Where's the pyramids? There they are. And then there's how'd you like to live in Pyramid Gardens? I'm smelling something good right now. Maybe I'm going to get hungry real quick. That smells good. Got my window open. It's a sunny day. Okay, so I'm kind of rambling here and I'm not focused. I was going to try to talk about... The fact is that this pyramid, this 8-sided pyramid, and if you consider the bottom, it's 9 sides. By the way, I think they got some new pictures going on. The shadows have changed. And the angle has changed. So now it's difficult to kind of focus on them. But this is the Great Pyramid, and it has a socle. And that socle represents the equator line, and the perimeter of the pyramid itself represents the measurement from the... Oh, wait, I don't want to go out again. Where's my... What, did I close it? It's here? I'm at the Egypt one. Okay, let me just go to the Egypt one, because I don't really want to... I want to continue my thought. So the socle perimeter represents 1/4 of a minute of our equator. And the perimeter, and I guess the height too. This is where I kind of get confused. The other perimeter represents 1/4 of a longitudinal minute. So a latitudinal minute is slightly fatter, as you mentioned, and the longitudinal minute is slightly skinnier and measures less. And we can go through my little slides. I have them right here, and then I'll also show you one more thing inside this all ancient. Let's go to ancient, and I've got the pictures from around. I always have to resort this by date. What? Oh, there it is. Okay, I won't resort it then. It finally stuck. And we're looking at this. This is Randall Carlson's slideshow. And this is the one for the socle. That's the socle of the pyramid. And this is the perimeter of the pyramid. And he talked about this quite extensively. I'm just trying to find the one slide that puts it all together. Guess it's over here. I don't have these in order. This is it right here. So the pyramid itself represents 1 square minute. And that's a quarter of a square minute. So that's the pyramid itself, I guess, right? 3043.547, 3043.433. Nobody's perfect. That's why we know humans did it. We're not saying aliens did it. Humans did it. That's why it's not a perfect number. But you look at the other one, and it's 3043.547. Wait, did I read that already? The other one was 3022.94, and the pyramid itself is 3023. See, it's almost. This is almost a 3. This is a little bit more than a 3. There is a difference of like a half an inch, so it's a really small difference. And he was also making the point that they used geodetic data when they created the Greek. What is this building? I forget, I always say the name wrong. The Parthenon. The Parthenon actually represents its point on the surface of the earth in its architecture. And it shows the latitude, longitude of that location represented in the measurement of the building itself, apparently. I don't know. I have to look at that again because I'm not seeing it right now. 38 degrees, right? Never mind. Let's keep going. It's in these slides. It represents its location on the Earth geodetically. Oh, there it is. There it is. So basically, the Clark ellipsoid, which is it's a longitudinal ellipse of the greatest. Like I said, the Earth isn't round, right? I don't know where he got this data, so I don't know. Anyways, I'm not going to focus on this too much, but I was just trying to respond to your point. Let me go back to this feed because I wanted to... Where is it? Let's close that. Let's close this. I think we can find... Oh, it must be in here. There we go. All right, back to you guys. Over 5,000 years ago. The equator has not always been where it is. Where it is now causes a bulge, and that bulge causes desert highlands. Yeah, and that's questionable as why I think that's why we don't see a lot of sea level rise near the coast of Western Africa, Western Sahara area. It's the same shape in general. Okay, where was that one? Right here. This line here is the same shape as the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. And you can find the points matching up. The Dakar or Cape Verde matches up pretty well to this point right here or here. Maybe one of those. I think it's this one, but it could be that one. You can follow the lines, but then it gets covered up by all this silt. But this one is pretty cut and dry in my book. You can see the whole notch from here to here, reflected here to here or here to here, in my opinion. And this whole change in the curve, you can see it reflected right there. And you can see all these points reflected. You can even see the line coming from here to here. And I'm sure it's not exactly the same. I know there's been some change over that year, but as far as like according to the Alibi maps, you do see land, and you can see it right here. This land does get exposed 20,000 years in the past, but you don't see much exposure or change here according to his maps. I believe that the Taman Rasset entered right there and went right to the Eye of Africa and to the Maghreb Sea, and that was the center point of Atlantis, Plato's Atlantis, beyond the Pillars of Hercules. But now I'm learning about pre-Atlantis stuff, and I just look at this and I say, is that rock or is that terraforming? Is that farm? I mean, it must be farmland. I mean, Occam's razor says that's modern day farming. I see this change in color, and that means they've tilled the land. They've exposed the more moist land. I mean, but how does it stay? There's just so much of it being done. I mean, are 2 million people up there? I don't think so. These farmers, they've got to be using their oxes, their cows, to plow the land in modern day. So since that's true, what about these big, huge changes? I don't think modern people are doing that. Okay, so I'm kind of the mountainous areas, and by the way, there's a couple other things I forgot to talk about. I really am interested in why this color has changed here. And you can see here this red. I mean, that's definitely modern day farming. But why is the general color of the land so different here? Has something changed? Why is it so red underneath? But yet, when you back away, it's more of this beige color. And the green, well, I can understand green, but green is when stuff grows on top of the dirt. I know this sounds kind of almost... there's one more of these structures here. You can see these structures everywhere, and I just don't see modern day people making that. But the big question is, why would they make it? Now, I did kind of debunk my theory that it was a giant megalithic wall. But these things are like 100... They're 25. This is like a full... What's that? 54 yards. All right, so that's not very big. It's only about 12 yards wide. Let's measure that one more time. It's 18 yards diagonal. And you can actually manipulate this thing to get yourself a perimeter. Wait, it didn't connect? There. It didn't connect? There. No? Start new. One more time. It is a pretty fascinating tool. Oh, I was going to look at Satellites Pro to see this. I wanted to use Satellites Pro. Where did I put that? I haven't used it in such a long time, and then I noticed Anthony was using it. There it is. I'm going to actually move that. There's so many there's so many mapping programs, but this one is kind of feisty. It's kind of uncomfortable. It's very, very jumpy. I don't like the precision of it. It's almost too precise. Zimbabwe, there's Eswatini, there's Lesotho. There's an area right here I was looking at, and I think it's up here. Maybe it's not going to be so easy to see here. It looks like there's some mining activity here. I wonder what they're mining. Probably soap. So I'm probably going to use... Oh, look at this one. That looks interesting. What's that? It's kind of funny. You can see these lines. They're following these lines. What are they following these lines for? So this is a different experience here. It's kind of jumpy. It's kind of hard to control. You have to be a little bit more precise with this one. Satellites Pro. Satellites.pro. I would check it out. And by the way, I did just post Satellites.pro some pictures from Alaska because I was complaining that the YouTube had changed their pictures. Okay, here's what I want to do, and then I'll probably end this. I'm going to go back to like this. No, I don't want this right now. Go back to these walls here and see what I can see. I just know that area, right? Is it here? No. Let's close that. What's this? I just guess I got to go back to my photos. Let's try to find this one and see if we can find better stuff. I only know the links. I was listening to Anthony mention the same thing. You can go in here and you can grab from here to here. That decimal, I don't know what that stuff is, but this is it right here. And can grab that and then you can put that inside. I'm pretty sure it's going to work. If it doesn't, well, c'est la vie, right? No? I hit enter. It's not working. Nothing found, it says. Yeah, because I think you need to put north and this is north. Wait, negative? That's south, right? But it has the negative, see? So I don't know why that didn't work. So the only other way to do it is to actually zoom right into it and see it from here. And then go in slowly and grab it. It's like right next to this little thing. Try your best, right? Good luck. This one doesn't have a rotation, so it's always north. So let me do that one more time. Very, very hard to find. I'm just looking at it. So if you take a line and slide it right through there, you might be able to get it that way. So where is this? Is this north? It's not north. That'll mess you up. All right. So I already messed myself up. Oh, here's that other line. See, I was looking for this as well. So let's actually try to find this because there's a bunch of stuff around here that I was looking at. See, a bunch of these little things, these really old structures up in the mountains. But unfortunately, I kind of wanted to... I got lost. I wanted to see that other thing. Let's just go back out. So this is over here. All right, that's over here. I can do that. I can do that. There's that structure right there. See, that was easy. Now the other part is to find. Let's do that one more time. This thing again. So what I need to do is I need to turn it north before I zoom out, and then I can find it. There we go. It's like right in the middle. Let me go there now. Oh, there. I think it's right there. See? Who's good? Who's good? I'm good. I'm good. But see, there's no 3D view and there's no rotation. But that's as close as I can get also. Looks like it's a little greener. So we do get some different views with the different satellites.pro. There's some other things here. And if you go to the top of the mountains, you can see some really bizarre stuff. Like this almost too perfect of a triangle. I mean, I'm not going to say that's not natural, but it's pretty crazy the way this land has eroded away so geometrically more than naturally in some ways. And the way it has these what do I call that? I don't want to say. It's kind of rude. All right, well, that's about it. Let's see what we have. Trev, yo, I love you. The richat structure. Thanks, Trev D. It show you a real one. I heard you can't put any. Okay, let's go back and make sure we're not missing messages. Shut up, dude. What are you even talking about? You need to collect yourself. Go back to Atlantis. Yeah, what are you talking about? That wouldn't survive 12,000 years. I don't know what you're referring to, but I'm glad you love me and are so willing to be telling me to shut up. Go back to the richat. Who's talking to me? Call that. I'm talking about the fact that something happened before Atlantis. This is Africa. This is all Africa. It's all the same land. It's all the same continent. This was Atlantis. Because Atlantis was anything south of Libya. This was Atlantis. Where did I just lost that because I was thinking about other things. Just having fun at this point. Love these mountains. And Satellites Pro, yeah, we can go to Satellites Pro. I'll tell you what, I'll take you back to the richat structure. We'll look at something under Satellites Pro. See, it's so hard to find stuff around here. It's over here. Where is it? Okay, there it is right there. Boom, man. I know where I'm going. Boom. Check that out. Now, if those aren't Anunnaki gold mines, I don't know what the hell they are. Check out Michael Tellinger and tell me what these are. Each one has its own each cell has its own nuclei. You know, honestly, they don't look like they could have been houses. Thing is that Michael Tellinger was saying there was like from 100,000 to 1 million of these things down in South Africa, but I haven't found them yet. And I think I'm going to have to pay with a credit card or something to get his info, his data. I'm not sure because I usually don't pay money online. So here's a bunch of circles. And if you don't know where I am right now, I'm at the lower end of the richat structure level plane. The richat structure is up here. I mean, it just seems so clear. Oh, what's that? Something new? I didn't play my music today. I kind of need that music to center myself before I start talking. All right, I started to... I said that this wouldn't be an hour, and now it's an hour. What do you think? Do you think those things were man-made? Or intelligently produced? Do you think that was intelligently produced right there? It's kind of an interesting little plateau that's left over, and you see these structures. Could these be the ones that Plato wrote about, saying that they had one stadia apart, or what was it? 10 stadia apart, each one? I gotta measure them. That's that is almost 1/5 of a mile, which is literally a stadia. So, could these be the ancient canals that Plato wrote about? What's that? Look at that thing. Is that houses or is that rocks? Those look like rocks. Yeah, the only thing I wish that Satellites Pro had is a 3D feature, because it's just much more interesting when you're going by 3D. Richat, get back to the Richat, man. Shot. Yeah, I hear you, bro. Get back to the Richat. No, we have to go beyond the Richat, I believe, because if what we know is what we know from Plato is true, the Richat was ended 12,000 years ago. Who's talking to you? What are you even talking about? You need to collect yourself. What about the big lines across Africa? Yeah, the big lines across Africa. I'll show you what I think you're talking about. I think you're talking about this right here. Wait, it's so hard, man. There, right there. And actually, looking at it under Satellites Pro, yeah, I think it's the same thing, man. I think it's the same damn thing. And by the way, if it has anything to do with the Atlantis that Plato wrote about, then that would be, oh, that's 1.22 miles. So that's pretty far apart. It doesn't jive with what Plato wrote. But I'm not very picky. I'm not very picky. Yeah, these are the giant lines across Africa I think you're talking about, right? It's good to look at them under Satellites Pro. I mean, I think that what happened is that these are agriculturally related to this river. I call this a delta. I don't know if you can call it a delta when there's no ocean, but it's like a delta, right? I mean, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. I wouldn't even know where to start looking in here for ancient stuff. I mean, the high plateaus is where you start. The high plateaus. The plateaus have stuff on them. The flood basins don't, because it was either washed away or covered up. And really, when I'm looking at this, you can probably go down to Lesotho. And right around here, we can see so many ancient structures. Those plateaus that are sticking up, that's where you find the most prominent lines in these plateaus. I mean, you can zoom right in, and you see these prominent lines in the upper plateaus. Look at this one. There's one right there. It goes right across. Why would that go across? And, you know, you ask yourself, which came first? Which came first? I honestly am not even sure sometimes, but I believe that the natural was first. The natural lines were first, and then some type of wall was put up, but it got beaten down. I mean, that's not natural to me. That's not natural. And so then I question, maybe these ancient plateaus are also not so natural. Maybe they're left over after the Anunnaki mined the hell out of this area for 300,000 years. I heard they started 400,000 years ago. So if that's true, then they had plenty of time to do this. Look at that. I'm not going to get... Look at this, rectangle. Triangle. I think I've seen this before. When you see the triangles created, and by the way, that is one of my lines right there. So when you see triangles created from these, then you know that you're getting something. See, look at that. It goes right across. I just found this randomly. You're going to tell me which came first. Which came first? I mean, you can see it's done some major change to that huge piece of rock. Alrighty, guys. I think I'm done here. You can check it yourself at facebook.com/ancientinsight for most of the links I've talked about today. I'll start at the top just so you can see them. I put these people in there. She's waving. I think that's really cute. And you know, can you imagine when they saw the Google thing coming through? But what I didn't understand was those buildings behind it. Now I know that was not the building. That's something else. That's part of the mountain. I talked about this in Morocco. I didn't really talk about this, but it's a major gash right through the rock, right by these homes. Look how big that is. You think a tractor did that? You think that's a natural structure? This is in Alaska. And you can see these lines here. This is Satellites Pro. You can check that link yourself. This is the one that I believe was... This is a new one I found. Okay, that structure again. This is just another area. It's in color. You can see how these farmers are living. It's subsistence farming for sure. And I just want to know why the land is... See, you can see the path on there. You can see a path. Maybe that's a river. Maybe that's a path. Someone walked a lot right there, and I saw another one over there. But so that path is younger than the mountain, which is younger than the subsistence farming lines, terraforming. That just doesn't make sense to me. The event sequence doesn't make sense to me. It's just illogical. That's why when I saw this one, by the way, yeah, the nubs, they look interesting. See that video? These weird, I don't want to label those. I think you know what I'm thinking. This one right here, just strange straight lines. Look at this triangle. I'm not going to say that they made that triangle on purpose, but just these weird mountains seem to be a lot younger than the plateau structures that are around them. And that goes back beyond, that goes a little bit far. So you can check out my stuff by yourself. This is go back to the richat structure. Pretty much everything here is all richat structure now, or nearby the richat structure. But and you know, who's to say that these lines that I talked about 2 years ago aren't made by the same terraforming technique that were made in South Africa? Mystery lines in the Sahara covered by 1,000 foot tall sand dunes. Who's to say that those weren't created by the same machines? Are these walls? Were they canals? I think that they were dams. Anyways, this is actually, that's, just check the links by yourself. I don't want to talk too much about this old stuff, but I'm definitely interested in looking at it, seeing it. Y'all have a good day, guys. We're getting to the Anunnaki gold. See, this is back to South Africa, and you've got this star. This is like a star created. I don't know what you would think that's a crater, right? But how does the crater fill in? So this is an interesting one. This is up in Canada, or maybe Alaska. I'm not sure. The links are all there. I call that the Star of Adam. Did a video on it. I really feel like these are more than just natural made things. That's like a 90 degree angle there, and it's going right through this rock. Everything's high plateaus, right? Everything high up, and look at how that changed the actual color of the ground, these two lines. So how ancient is that? This is old stuff. I talked about, this is a good one. Kind of wanted to talk about that a little more. Go there and zoom out a little bit and look around, follow the line. And this one, you can see a 90 degree angle. It's 90 degrees. There's a little cheater corner, like they took a shortcut. You see that in other structures, but they have, I believe this was like some kind of gold mine activity where they just literally tore away the whole plateau and got the minerals out of it. And you can see mining activity, but ancient mining activity. And there's another one. So they've got one here, they've got one here, these little things. But if you look, there's a parallel line here, there's a parallel line here, there's a straight perpendicular line there. It's definitely geography or geometry. Here's another one. And by the way, you say, oh, it's not perfectly 90 degrees, but maybe the angle of the airplane, the satellite, sorry, not the airplane, the satellite was not exactly on top of it. And this is, to me, the smoking gun, because it proves that there's a structure that was created. I mean, which came first? To me, it's a natural line for sure. And then that damming structure, which is 20 feet high, came later. There's another one right next to it. This is another one. It's a north-south mountain, and it's just so perfectly straight. There it is, right there. And you've got these weird angles. I mean, come on. How can that be natural? It looks like folded paper. Straight lines that go for kilometers. Up to 20, I found. And they're not straight, they're sloppy straight. But it's still intelligent. I'm not going to go over all this again. Wow, this is all recent. So there's another one, right? That's another parallel line, and it's so sloppy. I mean, it gets sloppier over here at this area. It's no longer parallel, but here it's like 90 degree, and if you get in there, you can see that's cut into the rock, 90 degrees. This is right in Lesotho. These are kind of my first look at these weird water reservoirs. I just figured they were modern day. Maybe not that one on the top. That looks like that plateau must have been created for religious activity or something. But these other ones, I guess they're holding water, rainwater. Maybe there's more rain up there. This is near the richat. That was 1,000 yards exactly, by the way. 1,000 yards apart. I go by yards because I think they're one of the most ancient forms of measurement. Of course, each country probably had its own yard after a while, but we have the cubit, which is from your elbow to your fingertip. That's 18 inches. We have the yard, which is a pace, but it's 36 inches. It's 2 cubits. We have the foot, which is, we have every yard has 3 feet. That's 12 inches. I think that inch is the measurement from the width of your knuckle. That's an inch. So if you look at your thumb and you look at you bend your thumb and you look at the width of that part of your finger, that's an inch. I think these are the most basic units of measurement, not the meter. The meter is a measurement between the North Pole and the equator. The meter, if you measure that, it's I think it's 10 million meters or 1 million kilometers. Going to double check that. I always mess it up. So these ancient measurements are important to me. 1,000 yards. That's quite interesting. It makes me feel like humans did it rather than ancient aliens. There's a close-up of that. You can see the flaw. I mean, a big flaw. This has got to be old, right? Got to be really old. This one, a little close-up. You can see a triangle up here and some kind of a weird crater. Maybe a gold mine. I don't know. You have to go in there and search that stuff and check that stuff. 10-meter wide gash going down randomly. Here's a nice, perfectly 90-degree triangle right there. And look at the perimeter, 5,800 meters. Okay, now this is old. This is last year. I don't think, maybe this is this year. Okay, maybe this is this year. All right, I put those things from Randall Carlson into the page, so check that out if you want. I'm just clicking backwards here, going back. So that was the one folder. Alrighty, guys, I want to get out of here. I got to go do some stuff. It's Valentine's Day, right? So I'm going to go buy myself some potatoes. Alright, I think I talked enough. That's a good... actually, this was done by After School. This is an interesting thing that Randall Carlson presented. He shows the 10,000 before present end of Wisconsin Ice Age. He shows the 12,900 year before present onset of Younger Dryas climate catastrophe. He shows the timeline of during the time of man catastrophes. I mean, obviously, he's going back 100,000 years, almost 200,000 years here. That's 160, so this is 170, so 200,000 is way over here. And all these catastrophes could have reset humanity. So when you take the look at the fact that it took us 200 years to get from the horse to the airplane to internet and the rocket ships, and 1967 was when I was born, and that's when we had our first so-called moon landings. Trev D, I lost you, huh? Who's still here? 5 people? Alrighty, well, Trev D got angry. Shut up, dude! That's a modern... I don't know what you're talking about, unfortunately. You're going to have to refer to the timestamps. Yo, I love you too. Shut up, dude. Go back. Thanks for loving me. You show a weird way of showing it. It makes me want to cry. Alright, Georgia Red, I hope you're still there. And I also didn't know what you're talking about 5,000 years ago. I think that stuff's a lot older. A lot of stuff's much older. Yeah, I'm yawning now. I gotta get out of here. So thanks so much, guys. I'm gonna stop this because I definitely went on for too long. I didn't think I'd go this long, but I'm happy to be able to chat for an hour at a time without taking a break. I need a little bit of coffee. Sometimes when I drink too much coffee, it makes me tired, especially. I'm having some right now. Yeah, it has kind of a reverse effect on me. All right. Okay, that's done. Now I am rambling. Have a good one. I'm out. Bye-bye.